Okay, so the Eagles just got some much-needed news on defense, as after being out last week, it looks like a key player could be set to make his return this week against the Steelers, and if he does, it would provide a major boost to the defense. Meanwhile, both Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown shut down the drama regarding their relationship, while also explaining what has to be better about the Eagles' passing game. Plus, with the Steelers coming to Philly in just a few days, multiple Eagles weighed in on the matchup, so we're going to talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan, and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And let's start this off with some pretty significant news from yesterday, and that is that, according to Adam Schefter, owner Jeffrey Lurie has officially sold a minority stake of the Birds, as he tweeted out, quote, Jeffrey Lurie and the Philadelphia Eagles received NFL approval for the sale of an 8% interest of the team to two family investors per league source. The sale was based on a valuation of the team up to $8.3 billion, and Lurie maintains complete control of the team. And that essentially means that Lurie just sold 8% of the $8.3 billion Eagles, meaning that Lurie made $664 million in the sale and also kept full control of the team. So as far as I understand, nothing's really going to change in regards to how the team is run, so that's definitely good news. But then the question is, well, what was the actual purpose of making this move? Well, there has apparently been some speculation and some rumors highlighted by Kevin Kinkead of Crossing Broad that it could be to raise money for the Eagles to maybe build a new stadium with a retractable roof on it, which would allow Philadelphia to play host to a number of large events like Super Bowls and Final Fours. But honestly, even though that would be kind of cool, I'm not going to say that I would like that idea very much. I mean, one, I wouldn't want the stadium to move out of the sports complex in South Philly, but more importantly, I just don't want to eliminate the bad weather games in Philly by having a roof, as sometimes the rain or the snow or just the cold of the Northeast can provide an advantage for the Eagles when playing against teams that aren't as used to the elements. So personally, I don't love the idea, but again, it is just a rumor, so we'll see what happens. And getting back to what's actually important now, the Eagles obviously have a game that they're currently preparing for, as they'll take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Battle of Pennsylvania in just a few days, and this is going to be a really tough matchup and possibly the Birds' biggest test to date, as the Steelers are a really good football team and they've only gotten better as the season has gone on, and a big reason for that is quarterback Russell Wilson and what he's been able to do ever since taking over as the starter, as the Steelers are 6-1 since Russ took over, and offensively they saw a major jump, as they went from averaging 22.8 points per game with Justin Fields at QB to 28.4 with Wilson in there. And he's definitely had a revival of sorts, and he's been playing some great football after a rough 2-year stint in Denver, so the veteran QB is certainly going to be a big test for the Eagles defense. And ahead of the matchup, both head coach Nick Sirianni and defensive coordinator Vic Fangio spoke about Russ and the specific challenges that he presents.
I just know that he's been good for a really long time. He's playing really good football right now. Man, good player who's been a good player for a very long time. Lot of respect, lot of respect for him.
Ideally, you want to get good pass rush with the 4 and be able to play the coverages you like, but sometimes with these mobile quarterbacks, that's not always possible. You may have to add a guy or two and play. But, yeah, he's mobile still, really playing good, and it'll be a challenge. It'll be very similar to what we just had a couple days ago.
Again, Russ has been playing some really good football recently, and Fangio made a good point about his mobility in saying that it'll be a challenge to contain him, and it'll be similar to what we saw with Bryce Young this past week, and the Eagles did have trouble containing him at times, so they'll have to learn from that and do better this week against Russ. And he's also just a guy that has had the Eagles' number throughout his career so far, so it'll certainly be very challenging going up against him and the Steelers' offense. But probably the bigger challenge will be going up against the Steelers' vaunted defense, as this is a group that has a ton of talented players, they're coached very well, and they just always seem to find themselves ranked near the top of the league. And once again this year, they're very good, so it's going to be a big challenge for the Eagles' offense, and both Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts know that very well.
Yeah, those defensive ends they have, that defensive line that they have is special. With Watt and Herbig, all right, those guys, Highsmith, those guys are outstanding. And Hayward, I mean, they got a lot of really good guys there. I think Coach Tomlin has done a good job there of having this is who they've been, and the physicality of a team coming after the football and protecting the football, running the football well. I got a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin and how he's done it for the consistency over this time, for this many years. And then, they got good players in the secondary and at linebacker. Minka's an outstanding player that has a knack for the football. And so they got good players, they got good coaches, and you can see that the culture that they have is outstanding.
Obviously they got a great player over there, TJ Watt, and then Minka, all-around safety, all-around defensive back. the culture they have, you feel it. Their coach is amazing, and how he does what he does and leads, and it'll be a battle.
Like both of them said, the Steelers got a great coach and obviously some big-time playmakers over there, so this is definitely going to be a big test for the offense for sure. And a huge reason for that is obviously the elite edge rushers that Pittsburgh has, and star tackle Jordan Mailata knows that it's going to be a great battle between those guys and himself and Lane Johnson.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great matchup. So I think the depth that they have the Steelers D-line is credit to them for building that. We have depth too, and we got a great five up front, and it's going to be a battle for sure.
As tough a matchup as this is, I just have the utmost confidence in both Jordan and Lane to get the job done versus pretty much anybody in the entire league, so I just can't wait to watch these guys battle it out. And one other interesting part about this matchup this week is that the Eagles obviously want to get on track in the passing game after some struggles, and luckily for them, the weakest part of the Steelers defense is their pass defense, as they're ranked 17th in that area. So this is a prime opportunity for Jalen Hurts and the rest of the offense to get things going in that area, and as I've talked about this week, one of the keys to that happening is going to be for Jalen Hurts to just get the ball out a bit faster and throw with more anticipation, and it seems like QB1 completely agrees with that.
Do you think that you're holding the ball too long?
There are moments where I can get it out quicker. There are moments where I could definitely get it out quicker. And I think, that's just something that I own. I'll be better with it. In terms of all that with my role, I'll figure it out.
I mean, that's all you can ask for from Hurts, is just to take accountability like that, and now he's just got to go out there, learn from his mistakes this past week, and make the corrections, and that honestly goes for the entire offense when it comes to passing the football, because it wasn't just Jalen that didn't execute properly this past week, but rather everybody had a hand in the struggle. So if the Birds want to accomplish their ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl this year, they got to be accountable for that, and just ultimately be better passing the football. And star receiver A.J. Brown knows that just as well as anybody.
When he asked the question of what the offense can do better, obviously it's not running the ball. He's about to win MVP, like literally. So what other thing we do on offense? We have to pass the ball, and that can go into protection. That go picking up a block. That go to us getting open quicker, being on the same page, Jalen, Reed, or whatever the case may be. It's a group, a collect group of things, and I think they just kind of just spent it that way, and and I said that for a reason. Honestly, because we went to the Super Bowl and lost. We tried again next year. It was 10 and whatever our record is, and it was a landslide. And here we go again. And it's something that we can correct right now while we have the opportunity. And that's why I was bringing the awareness of bringing it to everybody's attention. Like, it's something we can focus on. Like, we know we can run the ball. Saquon is doing a great job. Like, we're not against running the ball. We love Saquon. Ask him what I tell him at the end of the game. End the game. Like, do your job. End the game. Like, so this is fine. I'm okay with being whatever bad guy I have to be for the city, the town, whatever the case may be, for my team to holding everybody accountable, be accountable, and to get better.
I absolutely love those comments from AJ there, and that's for multiple reasons. One, just because for anybody still trying to paint AJ's comments after the game saying passing as him taking a shot at Jalen Hurts, there's your clarification. AJ clearly was just referring to the passing game as a whole, like I said, but these comments also just show you that all he wants to do is win, right? Because one, he made it clear that he does not mind that they're running the ball heavily, but also the fact that he's willing to be the quote-unquote bad guy in the eyes of the public or the media just for the sake of holding everybody accountable shows just how much he wants to win. And last year, they weren't able to correct the issues, and look what happened, right? So AJ's going to do whatever it takes to try and make sure that doesn't happen again. But obviously, in regards to AJ, the big story on him this entire week has been the state of his relationship with Jalen Hurts after Brandon Graham made some comments on WIP. But the good news is that at this point, both AJ and Jalen have gotten the chance to speak on the whole situation, and what they said was exactly what we were hoping to hear. So don't worry, we're going to get into that and more in just a minute, but real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and you don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this coming throughout the rest of this entire season, then make sure you subscribe, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of the Eagles coverage or content I got coming on this channel. I cover the Birds pretty much daily here, so if you want want to stay up to date on all the latest Eagles news, this is the spot. So again, subscribe and hit that notification bell, and also drop a like because it really helps me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So obviously on Wednesday, reporters were very quick to ask both Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown about the status of their relationship and the comments BG had made when they were given the chance to during each of those guys' respective press conferences, and both Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown made sure to shut down the drama pretty quickly.
Jalen, there's been a lot of talk this week about your relationship with AJ, obviously off of what Brandon Graham said. Just wonder if you want to offer any clarity on the situation.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. For him, he knows I had a lot of love for him, just like I got a lot of love for all these guys. And ultimately, he's a guy that's a competitor. He wants to win. He damn sure wants the ball, and he wants to make an impact in the game. And I respect that, and that's just like all of us.
Yeah, BG was just being BG. He's emotional. In that case, he just misspoke. Me and Jalen are good, so he's BG, guys. So everybody loves BG. He's speaking from the heart. He's just giving his perception on something from the outside. So
he's around you guys all the time, though. Yeah. Could you see where there might be a misperception based on?
I think that's what everybody. I think that's what the world did. They perceived what I said about passing and felt like it was an attack on Jalen, and I think that's what he did. Me and Jalen relationship is personal, so So yeah, I can see that.
How would you characterize your relationship with Jalen right now?
Me and his relationship are good.
So there you go. Jalen and AJ are fine, and that's really all there is to it. I honestly feel like that's all that needed to be said, and now we can just move past this and focus on what's really important this week. And Jordan Mailata seemingly couldn't agree more with that.
Jordan, was this addressed in a team meeting today at all, and did it seem like if it was, that this is now over?
Yes. We are moving on. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, not the AJ Brown and Jalen show. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's it.
Man, I just absolutely love Mailata's mindset and attitude here, and comments like this really do show you just how much he's grown and how great of a leader that he's become. And us Eagles fans should feel very lucky to have this guy. Speaking of which, we should also feel very lucky that the Birds just saw the return of a key defender ahead of their matchup with the Steelers, as after missing last week's game with a concussion and being out of practice all week leading up to it, safety Reed Blankenship has officially been back at practice this week, as he was listed as a limited participant on Wednesday's injury report. And this is big because even though he doesn't get talked about that much, Reed is just a huge part of this Eagles defense and a big reason why they've been able to have so much success this year, as not only is he just a super consistent player who tackles well, can play the run and the pass, and also has a knack for taking the football away, but he also plays a crucial role for the defense in terms of their communication, as he's the quarterback of the secondary and he leads the communication between those guys and the linebackers. So he plays a very, very important role, and he also is a guy that plays with relentless effort. So getting him back will provide a much needed boost to the Eagles defense, who did have some struggles last week, and Reed's replacement, Tristan McCollum, definitely had his struggles as well. So like I said, getting Reed back in there would be big, but obviously there's still a couple days left this week, and Blankenship still has to clear concussion protocol in order to play, so we'll just get a much better idea of what his status could look like for Sunday's game as the week continues to play out. And of course, you guys already know that I'm going to be continuing to cover all the Eagles news leading to their matchup with the Steelers, just as well as all the other news throughout the entire season. So again, if you guys don't want to miss any of that, then make sure you subscribe, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications. And also, again, while you're at it, make sure you drop a like to show some support, because it really does help me out a ton. Again, let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And also leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going over some news from earlier in the week, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.